It's Jonesy's Jukebox.
Roger that.
On 95.5 KLOS.
Hello, you're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox with my guest Lee Ving of the band Fear. Fletcher from Pennywise. And Roland Sands, motorcycle racer and designer.
Yeah.
Wow, you got a long title. And what is this you're doing? You're creating the Moto Beach Classic. Is it on sand or something?
We're building a flat track on the sands. We're building like a big plywood dance floor and putting dirt on top of it and, you know, making sure it's all safe and environmentally sound. And we're going to go fast on motorcycles, yeah.
There's, and that's part of this festival, right? When is that festival next?
It's not on your notes there?
No. Oh, yes, it is.
There you go.
Why don't you
I can
read
hear
it?
it. I'm here to help you.
Why don't you read it?
No.
Come on.
It is October 27th and 28th at Huntington State Beach, the Moto Beach Classic and the Surf City Blitz.
See?
Music and bikes.
I do a lot of prepping. I don't know if you've noticed. Is this like a first-time thing, Roland?
We did an event last year at Bolsa Chica, and we built a track in the parking lot. This is the first time moving it to the sand, so we've got a bigger location, and we're basically creating like a motorcycle race with street bikes on the dirt, and it's basically a slam pit with motorcycles.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna see. So.
And is this like off to the side when bands are playing, or?
Yeah, we're gonna be racing in between bands. So the bands will go on, and we'll have like a 20-minute gap, 30-minute gap between set changes, and then we'll be throwing races from 2 to 6.
So it's real guys who race. Not anyone can do it.
You should get in there.
I'm useless.
Come on.
I am a poser.
You look good in a full leg cast.
Oh man, I don't like being too close to other people on bikes. I like doing my own thing. But is it real races?
Yeah, this is absolutely real racing. We have several different types of racing. So we've got a dirt track, short track, super hooligan racing.
Yeah.
India Motorcycles is sponsoring that, and then we have BMW's doing a sprint drag race as well. You could do that.
Just go forward,
Yeah, just
fast, and then stop.
2 or 3
You should
gears
do
in a
that.
straight line.
That would be epic.
That would give me a
Got your new bike.
panic attack. I'm a mess, man.
You know how to go straight?
I'm a mess. The back would start wobbling if I was doing it.
That's the point.
That's what it does, right?
Shake it around, yeah.
Oh man. So do you all still ride?
I ride. Yes.
I had a ride with you once. When was that? 10 years ago?
I think it was like 5 with a Venice whatever bike show.
Yeah, and you went. And you took me to You took me somewhere.
Sausage restaurant. You like sausage.
I did then. I've gone off.
All
it
we had
now.
to do, you're like, you didn't want to go riding, but we just said, let's go eat. And you were like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
So we just rode and got some sausage.
Do you think that the motorcycle world has gone downhill a little bit as far as bike sales, or there's still, because for me it seems like new young kids, millennials, they don't care about, they just want to Uber everywhere. There's that lost, that it seems like that fire's lost to be cool, you know, with vehicles. Would you agree with that, or you don't? Maybe you know more than I do because you're in that world.
It's definitely changing how people perceive motorcycles or transportation or anything like that. But I think there's still definitely a love and a strong vein of why people do what they do, why we ride motorcycles, why we risk our ass, to go out there and race. I mean, it builds a community, and it's I don't want to say it's like going to war, but you experience pretty drastic situations, and it really bonds people together in cool ways.
Yeah.
When you risk your life and you risk, your personal safety, and you can go out and win a race, it just feels amazing.
Yeah.
Also, if you have a 1947 knucklehead stretched 10 inches over with a Springer front end, it's a hardtail, straight through pipes, shotgun pipes, and you listen to that go by, if that doesn't move you, then you're not part of the motorcycle world.
Listen to this guy.
But if it does, then rev it up, Bubba.
Lee's going to be racing.
Are you going to do, you should do the drag. You sound like you'd be good on the drag race.
I would love it. I would love it. Anybody want to race, you're on.
We got a spot for you, Lee.
You
for
two,
sure.
just a solo heads-up race? Jonesy and Ving?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that would be good.
Let's pump this event up.
Yeah, man. Put me in.
I'll be racing in reverse.
So I take it. See, I don't do my own work.
It's okay.
You're playing at this
Yeah,
festival.
we're going to play music.
You see how I figured that out?
Drink some booze.
Inductive reasoning.
Have you been playing regularly, Pennywise?
Yeah.
You keep doing it. New records, touring.
Yep, for I think 30 years now. As long as these bastards will keep having us, we're going to keep doing it. Can I say that word? Is that word
Yeah,
okay?
bastards, okay.
Okay.
I know you're
worried.
trying, Fletcher.
I'm down.
I know you're trying.
I haven't dropped an F-bomb yet. I'm not planning on
He
it.
was in the green room. Every other word was effing this and effing that.
I was talking to Lee Ving. You gotta.
You know what?
The
It's
king of the F word.
It's the people you least expect who are going to swear, the ones who swear.
Yes.
It's really bizarre.
The good Christians.
Yes. Lee,
Lee taught me how to say. Basically, he trained us all in the F word.
Well,
Correct.
I think that's been around a while.
It has been. But our major contribution has been and always was beer.
Yeah.
And
Loosens
as
you
it
up.
continues to be.
Loosens you up.
Thank you, Lee.
Good.
It rhymes with fear.
Hey! You been doing any acting, Lee?
I have, but not on the silver screen.
Yeah.
But mostly just, in front of officers of the law who have some question they'd like to ask me, some that has something to do with something or other. I don't know what, but
You had a period there where you was doing a bit of acting.
I did. Yeah, and I was very grateful for
Was
it.
it Streets of
was
Fire?
fun. Streets of Fire, Flashdance, Clue.
What was the one where you were like rednecks in a pickup truck?
Dudes.
Is that what that was?
Maybe it was Dudes, yeah.
There was like three of you. You had a big pickup truck, and was you pulling someone on the back of a pickup truck, hanging over? I remember that
That was
scene.
either a movie or that was a weekend in West Covina
No.
where we were evading capture by some people in cars that are mostly black and white.
It was definitely. For some reason, that movie stuck in my head.
That was Footloose.
Was it Footloose?
They're jumping across truck to truck.
I don't think that was it.
That wouldn't have been in Footloose. No.
Footloose. I got you, Footloose.
Hey. So what else you been doing, Lee? You been playing all the time with Phil? Or?
We
I know
have
you did
been.
acoustic thing a few years ago. I saw you at Mahoney's. You were going to do an acoustic thing
Yes,
across the street.
got to do nice ballads and things that I like. But Fear continues. This is our 40th anniversary this year, and we continue to do it. We'll be in Texas coming up end of this month, and right after Huntington Beach Pier, and we'll have more to do after that. We're not touring at long length any longer. We keep it down to a week or two, and then be able to move it around wherever we want to. So it's going nice, and we're happy with it.
Yeah, nice one.
We're about to do a new record too, and thank you for asking. Yeah, it's very cool.
40 years. Make some noise for that, people.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's like I see ads on basketball, a labor of love. Well, so is punk rock.
What year did Fear start? 78?
More like, yes, that 77, 78.
Yeah. I mean, I remember you guys,
And I remember you guys too, man. You're an inspiration.
but I remember you guys. I'm like, oh, these guys are scary. I'm the
Angry.
guitarist in the Sex Pistols, and I'm like, I remember coming to LA. I was at the Starwood,
Starwood, yeah.
that place. I saw a few bands. I was kind of checking it out. It was actually after we just broke up in San Francisco,
Right.
and I was hanging out here for a few weeks, or whatever it was. Then I went back to San Francisco and produced the band The Avengers. But I remember seeing something of you guys, thinking these guys are scary. There was a little scary going on in LA at that point, right? There's a lot of dudes who would show up who'd like to fight and stuff.
Right. People didn't know to take it seriously, or if this was humor related in some way, or just what exactly this was. It hadn't been around that long.
Yeah.
And so people would come wondering, and people would come with different intentions.
They didn't come to, they come to see what was going on. They didn't. Right. There was a percentage of people who came just to.
Right.
You get sucked into it. I was just talking to him in the not so green room over there. It's an inside joke. It's ivory. It's like grandma's ivory.
It's a
butternut squash. Bad color. But coffee's good.
We didn't like the white green room. We wanted to have green walls on it that were furry and fuzzy. So if someone hurled upon it, it would remain.
There you go.
As an
marker?
accolade to their good behavior, if you will.
Does anyone know why green room's called a green room?
I think I read it somewhere, but I forgot. So I was probably drunk.
He started. Uh-oh.
You can
Did
say
the
that.
3-second
Hey,
fail-safe device work?
So
They
Don
bleeped that
Lemon
out?
said that on CNN the other night, so I think it's all right.
No, it's not.
Huh? He thought that opened the door.
He probably had to put his hand in his pocket.
But I was talking to him in the not so green room, and talking about the first time I met him personally when I was 15 at the Whiskey, and I can't remember if Fear was playing or someone else was playing, and he was just there drunk. But he thought, and I thought it would be a good idea to open the windows in the dressing room and start throwing tall boys at cop cars on Sunset Boulevard. I'm pretty sure it was his idea, but I was definitely down for that. So we started chucking beer cans at cop cars, and I was thinking, this is the guy that influenced me down that path. I might still throw a couple here and there accidentally, but yeah, that was punk rock. Like you're saying, it was dangerous in LA. That was part of the deal. You went there, you got sucked into that whole rebellion and that whole idea of just being different and saying F you without the UCK.
Yeah.
It's very much like, it's almost akin to particle physics, subatomic particles, nanoparticles, and fusion. It has to do something with that, like the energy required to propel the tall boy out the window and onto the only black and white vehicle. So there's a selection involved in the thought process, and also an amazing inventiveness that I think has been unheralded to this time, if you will. Thank you very much.
In other words, we were drunk and we wanted to break some stuff.
Well, on that note, I think we're going to play some Fear. You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS with my guests Roland Sands, Fletcher, and Lee Ving. All right. Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS with my guests Roland Sands, Fletcher, and Lee Ving.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah, baby.
Surf City Blitz.
How was that, Lee, hearing Fear on KLOS?
It was great. It was great. It was great. We and Fraser Smith had sipped several beers when he was at another radio station, which we happened to visit, and being played on the larger stations is always a gift, and so to answer your question, it was great. It was great. It's fulfilling.
Yeah.
It should be on heavy rotation, in my opinion.
Yes.
Especially that one song.
40 years on. 40 years on.
40
we are.
years.
Yes, sir.
Qualified.
Do you ever go into Mahoney's?
I do. Yeah, Mark and I are good friends.
Do you have any tattoos? You're not a tattoo guy, are you?
I am. I have some tattoos.
Okay.
I have some of Mark's tattoos.
He's the best.
Very best. Fine line tattooer, best in
Best.
the world.
Period.
Yeah. Mark Mahoney, that is.
He let me borrow his machine to do that line up my arm one night after a couple too many vodkas.
Did he?
He
You
sure
did that?
And you know what? Yeah, I did. And then, and he was tattooing some crazy gangsters. He was tattooing like a Tony Montana Scarface machine gun, like big on some gangster's stomach. And then he stopped when I finished, and he walked over. He goes, "Let me take a look, Fletch." He goes, "Oh, beautiful. It's beautiful. it's a friggin' child's line up my arm." There's nothing beautiful about it, but he hooked me up a 5-round setup, and
It looks like a train track from a map.
well, now it's supposed to be stitches. I don't have that many good tattoos. Mahoney hasn't done any on me yet.
That's actually pretty cool, that.
Yeah, drunken.
How far does it go up?
It goes to my heart. It's a long, drawn-out story. I did a tattoo on my kitchen day before yesterday.
You did a tattoo of your kitchen.
In my kitchen.
Oh, in
on
your
one
kitchen.
of my friends. Yeah.
Did you do tattoos then?
I wouldn't say I do them. They're not good.
Yeah.
But I can give you one. It's be free.
Yeah?
Come over, I'll cook you some sausage. Go for a ride. Hook you up with
I don't
beautiful.
eat sausage anymore.
I got vegan sausage too. I can do that.
You got vegan
I
sausage?
made some vegetable soup last night. I'm gonna show you. I'll show you a picture of the tattoo when we're done here. It's from my buddy Rocco. It's pretty.
Okay.
It's for his dad. I got a before and after 10 years ago, and then the other day in my kitchen. I think I improved.
Now, do you do it like everyone else? You do an outline from a picture and you put that stuff on it and you outlined some ink that's already, you know what I mean? Do you do it like Mark would do it or any other tattooist? Well, you get the picture of what you're going to do.
I can't even say I'm even close to a tattoo artist. I'm just messing around. But yeah, no. I mean, you put a stencil on and you do that. Mark is beyond talented. He's literally like one of my favorite tattoo artists in the world. So
I like that he never uses color and
Yeah.
and it's all his portraits.
single needle. It's insane.
His portraits are
And
great.
his charisma is almost beyond his tattooing skills, as you know.
He's like a Don.
He's the man.
It's like going visiting a Don.
We should all go get tattoos from Mark. All you people out there. Shamrock Social Club, check it out.
So, Roland, how many motorcycles do you actually own? Do you own a bunch?
Oh, it changes by the day. We got bikes kind of flowing in and out, and sometimes a bike will just show up, and someone's like, "Hey, maybe one day you'll want to work on this," and they'll leave it at the shop. So we've got quite a few bikes at the shop, though. There's probably 80, 90 bikes at the shop.
That are yours?
Not that are mine. No, I mean I don't.
The company.
I probably got 70 or so motorcycles. I have too many.
Now, do they all run, or are they just sitting in a warehouse somewhere?
Probably half of them run.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough to just keep one bike running a lot of times. So,
Yeah.
you know, we got a lot of vintage bikes, a lot of older bikes. Got some bikes, some 1920s Indians, and some old Harleys, and a little bit of everything. So it takes an effort to get every bike running and working. And you know, I like to just keep a stable of a motocross bike and a good street bike and a flat tracker, you know, and an adventure bike, and
Yeah.
this goes on. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. So you're not like, like, I don't consider myself a snob on a motorcycle. Like, if any dude waves at me, I always wave back, regardless of what
Yeah.
he's riding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, and you should. You know, we're all sharing an experience out there, and it's
You're all on two wheels.
having fun.
I like all bikes, man.
You wave at guys on scooters?
I don't wave on cars
Those
on
little bird
scooters.
scooters that everyone's riding around on right now. That's what's killing the motorcycle scene. Those free scooters.
The bird, the thing
The
you
bird,
put money
yeah.
in and it
Yeah,
moves.
little
They
electric
keep
scooters.
leaving in my front yard. Yeah, those things.
I think
Killing
they're-
the scene.
I think they're banned in Santa Monica.
Yeah, they're starting to ban.
Where? Who?
Somebody talked and then they got scared.
Does anyone
Come on up.
want to ask these guys a question? It maybe not. I'm just putting it out. If you got, here's your opportunity. Hold on a second. Hold on, pal.
You remember Main Mountain Lodge, Pennywise going off?
It ain't working.
Main Mountain and like Mammoth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
That
do.
was one of my best shows ever.
All right. Yeah, Mammoth Mountain was always pretty crazy. No barricade, no security. Bunch of maniac snowboarders.
So that's it.
They just came to see you in person.
Oh, what?
They just came to see you in person. They're sick of
They
looking
come to
at
see
your-
you. They're not here to see
Hey,
me.
if you don't follow Jonesy on Instagram, you're missing out on some really good SH.
You know what's funny?
Everything that you ever put on there.
No, but when I put something on Instagram, I always put it to Twitter and then Facebook. You know the one where I'm dancing around in the kitchen with just me black underwear and the biker hat
It's my absolute favorite.
with Eddie Cochran sped up.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That got 4.4 million views on Facebook.
That's viral. That was genius. I mean, I was like, I was showing strangers in line at Starbucks. It was that good. I'm not kidding. I mean, I watch it. It's kind of gross, but I watched it like 9 times. So
When you put that on, were you thinking this is going to go crazy? Or you just...
You never know. You never know what you put on there.
he's done worse, but like for some reason that one was just magic.
Yeah.
4 million, man. That's so viral. You need a flu shot.
Woo!
Whoa.
Still making us look asleep over here.
Anyway. That's it. I don't think I'll be able to top that for some reason. I don't know why, but maybe it's because I don't care what I look like. It's part of it. You know, my gut's hanging out.
Is that what that is? You are very comfortable in your own skin, my man.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. It's very. I pretty much watch, I think, all yours like 2 to 3 times and just go, what is he frigging thinking?
Yeah.
How awesome is this that he just doesn't care? Everyone in the world should be more comfortable in their own skin.
He's talking about Jonesy's Jukebox.
Yes, sir.
Jonesy's Jukebox on Instagram.
I could never do that. That's straight up punk rock.
Do you
and
ever
a
do it, Instagram or anything?
Yeah, I do a
Riding
little bit of
bikes?
Instagram, yeah.
Do you ever get
Yeah.
naked on there?
Not that much. I got kids, young kids, so I'm trying to focus
Yeah.
on them.
I don't mean
I post some
completely
baby
naked.
stuff. Yeah, not
I
that,
mean,
not
he's just
that
in a
much.
Speedo.
You're like
Not
a
that much.
family guy now.
More Family Guy, yeah. Yeah. And you know, as I've gotten older, I've worn like more and more comfortable shoes, and I thought I had like grandpa shoes on today, and then I look over and I see Jonesy's shoes, and
Hey, what you
Lee's
doing,
got
man?
Lee's
These
is
are
holding
shoes.
down with combat boots. If you can't see through the radio, I think Roland has some like Nike Air hybrids.
Listen, let's give your deal a plug. It's Surf City Blitz, October 27th and 29th at Huntington State Beach.
At 28th,
27th and 28th, yeah.
What did I say?
just 27th.
It's 20.
We're here to help you.
You just added
Thank
a
you.
day. You added a day.
Help me.
You're
Steve,
busy
will
doing your
you sit in with
calisthenics.
us? Will you sit in with Fear and play one on that day?
I think I'm busy that day. Lee.
He's gonna be on the drag race course.
Yeah, I mean, if you two guys,
You know, he's
we got to push for that
racing.
drag race between you
love
two.
to see that.
That I'd be better off just going boom straight
You would have
and then going home.
20,000 people watching that.
If I have to do a fear
Everything
song,
else-
that means I've got to figure it out. That's like work. Then
You think you'd do it in your underwear?
I ain't got
No.
no problem doing anything in my underwear. As soon as I get home, the kit comes off, man. Because I don't wear clothes at home.
So awesome. So awesome.
I'd love to be a
Lovely.
fly in his room when you get home and he just
So when I
walks in the
tattoo
door
you in
and
my
just-
kitchen, are you going to be in a Speedo?
Well, I don't know about your house, but when I get to my house, everything comes off except the black briefs. They have to be black, you know. One have to be black.
You keep your socks on?
Hide the skid marks.
Cowboy boots. Cowboy boots. and a hat.
Cowboy.
Oh no! We're gonna play
Did
motorbike.
they bleep that?
Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS with my guest Roland Sands, Fletcher from Pennywise and Lee Ving of the band Fear. How are ya?
Good.
Lee Ving, Fletcher, Roland Sands.
Got a feeling called the blues. Oh, Lord, since my baby said goodbye.
So you do covers, like ballads?
Sure.
What, like for what ones?
I've been loving you too long to stop now.
Sweet.
Who did that originally? Otis Redding?
You were tired
Yeah.
and your love going cold. My love grows stronger as all fail grows Oh, I've been loving you too long to stop now. Oh,
Oh, man.
mercy.
That's why he was warming up in the ivory room.
Thank you.
A bit of Otis.
Yeah, God bless Otis. God bless Otis.
He was great, man.
Otis,
He was a tower of a man.
Yes,
Big,
sir.
big dude, wasn't
yeah, big guy and a great
he?
voice.
Great voice.
Incredibly huge soul.
Yeah. It was funny shows back then because you'd get him on a bill with Jimi Hendrix, you know, and some other. It was kind of a mishmash, which was kind of cool. You know what I mean? You know that beat that it went into on the end of the Pennywise song? Dang, 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 dang. I think that started in America because I don't ever remember any English punk bands doing that beat, unless I'm mistaken.
No,
It's like, I think we call it the forbidden beat.
I wanted to speed things up. I wanted us to go, instead of bap, 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 I wanted us to go bap, 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 bap,
So now the human beatbox on top of Otis Redding.
Was you a fan of the other bands that were around at the time, like Black Flag and
Oh yeah,
Kennedy's and
Absolutely.
Sex Pistols.
yes.
who else am I missing from kind of the
TSOL,
American? Yeah,
Who was also playing this day with Fear and Pennywise.
yeah,
Suicidal.
Mr. Jack.
And Offspring.
That was all 80s. Yeah, Offspring.
What
Mr.
an
Jack.
insane lineup that is Saturday.
That's basically
It's
like
gonna be
a
nuts.
1980s lineup, but if you take away Pennywise and Offspring, we're the new school kids. I mean, just saying, back in the day, you'd go to a show and you'd see Fear, TSOL, and Suicidal, and pray that you got out without a stab wound.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Do you ever see? Do you ever run into Mike Muir?
Yeah, all the time. We play with him, and yeah.
Does he do Suicidal? Or does his own
Yeah,
thing?
no,
Psycho
he's-
Micah.
Yeah, there's no Suicidal without Mike Muir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going. They're going strong. They're killing it. I hate playing with them. They make us look bad
Yeah.
because he's sober and they're all tight and we're kind of drunk and loose. But that's
Yeah.
our shtick. It's
Yeah,
an
yeah,
excuse
yeah.
to get. It's an excuse to get drunk.
He called me up one day, Mike, and said, "I'm doing this album, Psycho Michael. Would you play all the guitar on it?" And I did. Went to some studio down where he was.
Yeah, I did that too in Venice. Yeah.
No.
No. Okay.
No, I mean, I don't know if you did. It was in the valley somewhere, some
okay.
studio that he booked. I played on like 11 tracks, just kind of learnt it there and then. It was good though. I like him.
Was it like? Yeah.
It was his style.
It's hard to play.
Gin, 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 gin,
That
gin.
speed metal. My wrist was tired.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. Well, thank God you can drop in and out. You know,
Yes. Yes.
recording. That's the wonderful.
They're gonna be a good time on Saturday.
Let's plug the show again. It's Surf City Blitz, October 27th and 28th.
Look at you.
At the Huntington Beach Pier.
The Huntington State Beach, and you're doing the Frosty Hiding Frank birthday bash.
Yep. There's gonna be plenty of booze floating around that day. What do we got? You also got Sunday's gonna be Rancid, Social Distortion, Bad Religion. I think the Interrupters. So it's a crazy 2 days of music and motorbikes and mayhem. So it's gonna be good.
All right. Well,
And
we're
you
not
and Ving, drag racing.
drag racing, yeah.
In reverse.
And
on
Speedos.
motorcycles. First time ever.
So this is on motorcycles,
Yeah, yeah.
not cars with big
We're
fat
not going to
tires
race
on the
in
back.
any cars. It's going to be all motorcycles.
Yeah.
The whole thing, two-wheeled mayhem.
You get there before me, Lee.
Okay.
We got a bike you can borrow, Lee. We'll get
We'll
you a
break
nice
the track.
stretched out chopper
get the
roll.
track
We'll bring
ready
you.
for you.
But they still have the fat tire on the motorcycle ones on the back, right?
Occasionally, yeah. It's kind of a little bit out of style, the big fat tires.
Oh, it is.
No, he's
Yeah.
talking about the drag bikes.
The drag, the drag.
Oh, yeah,
We're
yeah,
bringing
of
a
course.
full
yeah,
drag
yeah,
bike down. You can do a solo pass and you'll have 20,000 people watching you. If you do it in a Speedo.
And my hat, my left
Road
hat.
rash could be pretty brutal,
You know,
though.
the viral video hits
go
on
down.
that.
Oh, my
It's
God.
going to be just off the hook.
But at least I have like a safety belt, you know.
Yeah, a safety pillow.
Yeah.
I got one too.
We've also got a little activation for kids. We got Stacey coming out and they bring an electric bike. So we'll have a little free area outside filled with motorcycle vendors.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you want to bring your kids and just bring them down for a couple hours, they can have a chance of riding a motorcycle themselves.
And you're doing that both days, right?
We're doing that both days, yeah.
27th and the 28th of October. Okay, well, we're going to knock it on the head. I want to thank you guys for coming in. Lee Ving,
Thank you.
Fletcher,
pleasure.
Roland Sands.
Hero.
Thank you for having me, brother.
It's good.
I need to thank our sponsors, Asian Box, for the incredible lunch everybody had here. Also, ABK Beers and Hint Water for the beverages. And Subaru for sponsoring the KLOS Subaru Live Stage.
And no future for you.